I like the steering. It's light, but it also, like, it feels pretty dang direct. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the all-new Audi A4. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the strong Audi here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this A4. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you guys can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions whatsoever, just ask for Mike or Landon. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 7-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 24 around town and then 32 on the highway, with power outputs being 261 horsepower and then 273 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go with the front end of the A4. So first off, you guys can see we've got these really distinctive body lines there on either side of the hood. And then coming down below, we've got these crazy looking daytime running lights are at the top of the light cluster. And then you guys can see with the LED headlamps just down below and well off to the side. And then notice we've got this nice silver trim here that's on that portion. And then we actually have some like chrome trim around the grille. So it's a little bit different in terms of the finish because that's got more of like a satin finish. I guess we can call it like polished, right? We're using fancy terms. Anyways, you've got the Audi logo there front and center with the camera there below the logo. And I like the new look on the A4. I think it looks pretty dang cool. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 245/40/18 in the front and in the rear as well. And you guys can see we've got that silver finish on the wheels and it says Audi Sport there, kind of off to the side, which is pretty neat. And I really like the molding there for the fender itself. We have our S Line badge here on the side. And then notice with the silver trim around the windows. And now you guys can see that the wheels and everything all tie together because you got like the silver on the windows and the wheels, a little bit on the front end, and it looks pretty cool. So here is our key fob, and you guys can see, well, not much happening there in the back, but on the front, we've got our Audi logo here. We have the opening here for the trunk, the lock, and then the unlock. So we'll press this a couple times, and that'll pop the trunk right open. And it looks like this one comes with rubber floor mats. That is nice. It says A4 on it, too. And we got cloth ones. We have floor mats on top of floor mats with this car. But we're going to move those all back, and we're going to move the floor covering back a little bit as well. Pull up the strap so you guys can see the spare tire just underneath, and overall storage space here in the A4 is actually pretty solid. Yeah, really good with that. And then when you're done, just pop it back down. Now finishing things up with the rest of the rear, you guys can see there's nothing crazy happening, at least on the top of the trunk, but we've got more of our chrome badges. The coolest thing is the taillights. So just like other Audi models, you have like the whole sequential look with the light itself, which is pretty cool. And then we've got our parking sensors here at the bottom, and then look at the covers here for the exhaust tips, pretty crazy looking. There's one on either side, but anyways, there's the rear. Now let's go over the rear door panel here in the A4. So first off, you guys can see down below, you've got some nice leather trim here with the stitching that goes across the nose. It goes like all the way up. And then we have some wood trim here at the top, which has a cool grainy finish. And then this is also padded right here, if you guys are wondering. Now here are the seats. So you can see again with the leather, notice the stitching there all down the center portion. And then we'll actually pop in. Ooh. There's our legroom. Headroom as well, and then there's a little storage pocket here. We can control the temperature here in the back. And then we got our charging ports, 12 volt as well. And guess what? We have our like cup holder situation here in the back, which is very interesting. I don't know how to feel about this. It's like a lot happening at once, but it's also pretty neat at the same time. Oh, you can still open it without having that open, I suppose. Yeah, that is very interesting. That's a very German way to approach things. Anyways, let's head to the front. Now here is the front door panel. You guys can see again with the padding, and then notice with the leather and stitching down below. We have all of our window controls right here with our mirror adjustments. They do power fold in, and then also with the heated function. And then here's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. Memory seats here for the front. And then you can see with the opening on the trunk, and boom, front seats. So again with the leather, notice that cool stitching design here. And here's a better look down below with the lighting a little bit better so you can see. And then we've got our power adjustments on the side, S logo right there. And the pedal layout here at the bottom. Light controls just up above, and then more of that grainy wood trim let's pop in. So here's our steering wheel for the A4. We got really nice leather trim all around. You can see the darker stitching in the center portion. Paddle shifters here on the back for that 7-speed automatic. And we have some controls here for the center stack. Heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel, voice command volume controls. And we have like our turn signal stock, cruise control stock, windshield wiper stock. Lots of stocks, but there's the steering wheel. So here is the center gauge cluster. It's a full digital gauge cluster, and just like other Audi models, you can kind of change the whole viewpoint here and just what shows there in the center. Obviously the fun party trick is the navigation, how you can make it be like the whole screen. But yeah, I mean, ever since Audi released the virtual cockpit, it's been a huge hit. I think they did a great job with it. So here's the center infotainment screen. First off, if we pop it into reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. It doesn't do the cool camera turn thing like you can get on other Audi models. But anyways, this does have Audi's full 360 camera system. So you can literally see out of every single angle of the A4. And this isn't a massive car, so it honestly doesn't need this, but it's great that it has it. Now, as for the rest of the screen, you guys can see we've got our cool navigation view. And I love how it's like super realistic. Like it actually shows us like the buildings and everything. So like, for example, if we zoom in here, oh, I don't know what I just clicked. Get out of here. Anyways, you can see we've got like the Audi dealership and then the Porsche dealership right next to it, which I don't know why it has a fork and a knife on the Porsche dealership. I guess that it's, I don't know. Anyways, as for the rest of the infotainment system, you guys can see response time is pretty good. And then with the screen, like with your actual finger response time, it's like instantaneous. Now we do have some different drive modes, just like other Audi models. So we just go into the Audi Drive Select. We have a comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. I love how it shows like the A4 driving up when you initially go into this whole tab. But there you go. We've got our dual zone climate controls just down below. We do have heated seats here for the front as well, and automatic climate controls. And then this is just to turn off the screen, parking sensors, stability control. And then over here, auto stop start in the drive mode select if you want to use this to change the drive mode. Engine stop start button. And then we've got a couple cup holders here with some more little charging ports. And then storage space right there. And then here's our shifter for the 7-speed automatic. It does have a manual mode, so just put it into drive and then just put it over to the side. And then look at this, pretty cool. Parking brake, and then volume control here off to the side. And then notice with the nice padding on the center console, we do have a wireless phone charging pad as well, which is pretty neat. Yeah, look at that, slides backwards and forwards, pretty fun. Quattro, of course, on the dash. And then you can see the glove box with the felt lining. And yeah, just really nice in terms of like the quality. I'm really impressed actually. The A4 has come a long way since I've seen one. Sunroof here at the top, and then you can see the little control there for the sunroof, and there you go. So here's a window sticker for this 2023 Audi A4. First off, you guys can see with the standard equipment, which there's quite a bit. And then warranty information, we have a 4-year, 50,000 mile new vehicle warranty. And then base MSRP is $42,000. That is very impressive actually for a luxury car. We do have some options added to this one. The big thing is the Premium Plus package. This is a very popular package to add. It seems like people don't want an Audi if it doesn't have Premium Plus. It just seems like it's a thing. But anyways, after all packages, this one stickers for $50,380. Well, actually, no, never mind. $50,260. I was almost trying to like upsell you guys there. I forgot. We got a little discount here. Sorry about that. Anyways, let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors. And throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. So setting off here in the A4, and the last time that I drove an A4 I think was literally in 2017, and it was actually a manual A4. So yeah, pretty cool car, right? But it's been a long time since I've driven one of these, and so it'll be pretty interesting to see, you know, I guess how this has improved over the years and if my opinion has changed at all on the A4. First off, seat comfort's really good. Actually, it's pretty impressive. Like Audi does a really good job with how they structure these seats, from the cushioning to the bolsters and everything. Like I feel like I'm being held in place so I could do some fun performance driving, but I also just feel comfortable overall. So yeah, I think job well done. And then from a ride quality perspective, you know, for being Audi's, you know, and I guess it's not technically their entry-level sedan because I guess the A3 is, but for pretty much being one of Audi's entry-level sedans, it actually is a pretty solid suspension setup. Like, it's pretty smooth overall, and so I think they did a great job with the whole setup here from a suspension standpoint. Transmission's really smooth and seamless. See, I really appreciate Audi's regular automatic and then also their dual clutch automatics, because like I've driven cars that don't have good automatics or dual clutch automatics, and so like when you get into an Audi, whether like I said it's the regular automatic or the dual clutch, like just this shifting is always really smooth and seamless, and there's no like jerkiness or anything. So they did a really good job with the transmission tuning as well. It's like it's quick, so like I can press the paddles, like look at that, instant. Like the response time's instant, but it's again it's also just very seamless overall. And I guess I'll have to pop it to the side and then pop it back to get it back into the automatic mode. So yeah, overall it's just it's a comfortable car. I can understand why this is so popular, because it looks really cool on the outside. It's really comfortable to drive around, and I mean we'll see what the acceleration's like, but it seems like it's got pretty fun driving dynamics. Like just kind of like, you know, driving around casually so far, it seems like it's kind of got like a little bit of a fun edge to it. So we'll pop into the dynamic setting so it gets a little bit more aggressive with everything. Automatically put it into the S mode too, which is pretty cool. And also this just feels like a very nice modern interior too. That's another thing to mention. And I like the steering. It's light, but it also like it feels pretty dang direct. So I think they did a good job with the steering setup as well. Don't necessarily get that with, you know, all-wheel drive cars, but Audi's been mastering their Quattro system for decades at this point, and so they know how to build an all-wheel drive car. That is for sure. So we'll see how this moves. Woo! That's a lot quicker than I thought it would be. So I literally just drove the RS e-tron GT before this, which if you guys don't know, it's Audi's full electric sedan that has like over 600 horsepower and a 3-second 0 to 60. So like obviously my perception of acceleration is kind of messed up after that, but like this thing moves. Like it's quick. It is very quick. So let's sum things up here with the A4. I guess let's put it in auto mode. That'll work out. I think that it looks great on the outside. You know, again, Audi is kind of like famous for their understated styling. This is kind of sketchy. Let's just go extra slow. Audi's famous for their, you know, again, kind of like understated styling, but it's still a really good looking car. Interior is a lot nicer than I remember. I feel like I remember Audi interiors kind of, I don't know, feeling somewhat like cheap in a sense, whereas this feels really well built, and the material use overall I think is pretty solid. It's fun to drive. And so, yeah, I mean, for, again, like almost, what, yeah, so like for $50,000 roughly, I think this is a great, did I get the price right? Or did I mess up? Let's see. Yeah, $50,000. I'm like, did I forget? I usually don't forget that fast. Yeah, for like $50,000 roughly, I think this is a great value for everything that you're getting. Let me know what you guys think about the new A4. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this Audi A4. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the strong Audi here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this A4. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Ask for Landon or Mike if you have any questions whatsoever. I'll see you.